Not my business. Well, I really like this poem. What I've done for you here is split it into 4 different groups of language because I think this should help you. What you'll see is I've gone and looked across the poem for these 4 groups of language, and if you can pick out these words and say, in the poem the writer uses the language of eating, give us some examples and then tell us why, that's really good because it shows us that you can look across the poem, across the language. Let's look at these 4 groups. First of all, eating. The soft belly of the Jeep. Now, we've got the line that keeps coming across about the speaker not wanting other people to have the yam, the food that he wants, he needs. So we're quite used to the greediness of the speaker. But if you look also at the Jeep that's waiting, that is a very hungry thing too. So everything within this poem is hungry. It's a kind of survival of the fittest poem. So the Jeep is there, wants to swallow all these different people and eventually the speaker. So it's not just the speaker who's hungry, it's the Jeep, it's the other people in the poem. So eating runs all the way through this poem. Work. It's in the title, Not My Business. All sorts of other references. One of the characters went to work, there was no probe, there was a stainless record, there are more of these. But the idea is everybody should go about their business rather than look at other people's business. So it's, again, I'll use that phrase, survival of the fittest. I look after myself, I don't look after you. Look at the top right hand corner, homes. There's all sorts of references to homes. There's running round the whole house, beating on the door. They picked a carny up, which sounds like someone's just collected them for work, but it's actually a lot more, evil than that. Even down to the end, to my bewildered lawn. So the house starts to seem strange. The house starts to kind of worry about the person in it. Doesn't really like them anymore. It's one of those where everything seems a bit strange and uncomfortable. Down to the last one, hands. All sorts of ideas about where you should be working with your hands. People are beating with their hands. They are demanding with their hands. My hungry hand. They're stuffing. Rather than stuffing food, feasting together, they are stuffing people into the Jeep. Now, why have I chosen these 4 groups? Well, because they're all the basic things in life that we need to survive. They're the things that create communities. We should eat together, but in this poem, they just eat alone and look after each other. At work, you should be with each other, get your friends together, have relationships. Here, people mind their own business and don't look out for each other. Even the home, which is meant to be where people live together and have families, everybody in this poem seems alone or disappeared. And even in the end, the house seems strange, like the house doesn't like the occupant, my bewildered lawn. And all the way down to just ourselves. We need our bodies that is who we are. But here, we're not very comfortable with ourselves. We're much more violent people. We don't use our hands for good things like most communities would do, most people would do. We use them for violent means. So look at how these 4 themes, which are all about the basics of life, are slightly changed here to be a bit more violent, a bit more uncomfortable to read about.